Hello. Am I live? I hope that everyone can hear me. The last time I did one of these was so long ago that I don't remember what I'm doing. So, if anyone in the chat could let me know if this is successful. I see there are 16 of you here. I don't know what I'm doing. Let me check on my phone. And I hope that this sounds okay. I connected my microphone. Brooke says hello. Hi. I'm seeing the chat. Am I here? Oh, okay. Dallin says we see you. Thank you for letting me know. Let me say hello to everybody who's here. I see Al says hi. How do I? Oh, I can show comments. I forgot about that. The Naked Firefly says hi. Hi, Anne. Hi, Ava. Hi, Ash. Oh my gosh, there are people here. The chat is just going. Hi, Brooke. Hi, Margot. Hello. Oh, thank you. Brooke says, congratulations on 3K. Look, I figured out how to put something on the screen. I did it. Okay. Well, hello. Welcome to today's live stream. I am so out of practice, but I'm really excited to be talking to you guys today. Hello from, I guess, me and all of the people behind me. There's so much art. There are 2 Will Grahams. I'm so sorry. Hello, but I have bubble tea. I made some bubble tea yesterday, but it's not very much is left. I've been making my own, like, the boba balls myself, like with tapioca starch, which has been really fun. Hello, Katie. Hi, Emily. Hi, Sir Loss. Hi, guys. I hope that everybody's been well. The last time I did a live stream, I think it was before Christmas. It must have been like the end of November. So it's been a while. And this one was almost a disaster. Literally 10 minutes before I went live, I was combing my eyebrows with like a spoolie, right? And the spoolie like broke into my face. Like I was just holding it, but apparently it was like, no, you're like the Hulk, so you're just gonna like snap this from just holding it. And I don't know, maybe the plastic just doesn't like me. It snapped in my eye. And it was not fun, but I'm fine. So if this eye is a little red, that's why. But enough about my eye. Hello, Alexandra. Hi, Sufwan Stevens. That's awesome. I love that. Hi, William. Hi, Veronica. Oh, by the way, I'm putting this out there now. If I am saying your name wrong, please correct me. I would love to say your name correctly. So if I just keep saying your name wrong over and over again, I'm so sorry. So just feel free to correct me in the comments. Okay, now everyone can hear me. Let me know if I do anything incorrect and it is annoying. So let me know. But how has everybody been? Like, what have you been up to? Like, writing, like, pandemic related? It's been weird, dude. Like, life is strange at the moment. Because I don't know, at least here in Toronto, like, I don't know, things are kind of opening up, but we've been in lockdown since like November, right? So life has just been like weird for a while. Wow, since the last time I did a live stream, we've basically been in some sort of lockdown. So things are kind of trying to open. I got my vaccine a few weeks ago, the first one. And I have no symptoms like when I got it. It was it was so weird. It was such a pleasant experience. I kept saying, guys, I like loved getting the vaccine. It was weird. I'm so sorry. It was bizarre. Usually I'm not very good with needles. I used to be, but yeah, I was one of those kids who was like, I'm good with needles because I didn't want to look like I was scared, but it was actually a good experience. Your name is just a meme. I love that. It's funny. You heard I have an 8-pack? I'm not shredded, lol. But the literal spoolie thought I was, so I was like, let me just combust in your hand. Ugh, it was so annoying. William says, life has been kind of hard trying to write, but personal things getting me real down. I'm so sorry to hear that, but I totally understand. I think right now is a difficult time, so I'm sending all my best vibes to you. Sagittarius says, I'm outlining a fantasy novel right now. That's so fun. I'm writing a fantasy novel right now. Who else is writing fantasy or outlining fantasy? Is there are more people who are doing things in that genre? Because I'm doing that for the first time if you haven't seen any of my recent videos. Yeah. Ava says, I haven't written it all lately, so hopefully I'll get some done today. I totally feel that. I feel like, I don't know if it was just me, but I've heard from like other people too. This last week sucked. Like, I don't know. Maybe if your week was good, let me know because we need those positive vibes. But I don't know. I think even like the last 2 weeks, I've just not been doing any writing. Like, but especially last week, I just kept procrastinating. I'm trying to edit the first chapter of Seventh Virtue, which I printed out like I'm 12. Like I used to print out my manuscript all the time when I was younger. So I did it for the first chapter of Seventh Virtue, which is the fantasy project I'm working on. And I've just been avoiding doing the edit. Like I did everything. I already marked it up, but I've just been, can you see? No, it's too bright. No, you can't see it. Wow. Oh, you can see this blank page. This is blank page in Seventh Virtue, but yeah, I have it all written. I've just been, oh my God, I almost, knocked my boba. I'm going to move this before I knock it into my computer, but anyway, so I have been trying to do it. It's just like not happening. Just like that sentence was not happening. Oh, there are more people. Okay. Al says, I have felt like the embodiment of this emoji for months on end. Now that's accurate. Katie says, I finished a novel in March and I just can't seem to get into my new book. Luckily, I got feedback soon, so I can jump into a new draft of that. That's good. Sometimes, like, I don't know, is it just me, but like sometimes I just have like themes or like seasons of my writing life where like, this particular season, like as if it's like season one of a show, is me writing this particular project. So I feel like that makes sense. Like sometimes one project is just like calling our name. August says, every time I try to write fantasy, I realize I'm not smart enough for it. I need to talk about this because I am a self-proclaimed dumb. I think like I'm not smart enough to do like a lot of like the world building I think necessary for especially like higher sort of fantasy. Um and so that's why I never wrote the genre because I didn't think I could world build. Like literary fiction writers, if you're here, like literary fiction world building is just, tee let's just drop in this, let's just do a dash of that. It's not really like all that set in stone, but if you are doing like set in stone literary fiction world building, let me know too. But anyway, so I didn't think I could do it. And I still don't think I can do it, but I definitely have been making a few strides, teeny ones, but I've definitely needed the help of others a lot more because my brain it doesn't want to be like logical, go from point A to B. Tasnim says, I'm also outlining a fantasy project right now. Fantasy is so fun. Like, why didn't anybody tell me? Even though everybody's been telling me, like, you should watch this or read this. I'm like, no, I don't know about that. I've talked about it in my videos. I never like grew up like with fantasy or anything. It's just usually pretty contemporary stuff for me. But it's actually really fun. Who knew? Stories where you can like make up a whole new world. It's fun. It is. Sir Law says, I'm writing a fairy tale, so definitely a type of fantasy. Fairy tales are really fun. I took a class on fairy tales, so it's really interesting. I don't know how people do that. I don't think I would be very good at fairy tales. Do you have any experience writing fairy tales? Anybody else? Or how does it go? How do you do? Are you rewriting the fairy tale like a retelling, or is it like a new one? Because that's really fun too. New Woo Moo. I'm so sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Says I was gonna go to sleep. It's 11:30 p.m. here, but I still want to watch the live stream. I'm really sorry about like the time. I will try to like do earlier ones too for people in different time zones. But Ash says I'm writing an LGBT plus retelling of Beauty and the Beast. That sounds cool. I think I've only watched the original, like, Disney. I don't know. Is that like a different tale? Maybe somebody else wrote it and Disney adapted it. I don't know. You think I would know? I don't know. I think I've only watched the original like twice, and I don't really remember it. But that sounds cool. I know the actual story though. It's interesting. Um, Oh, Lily asked, like 3 minutes ago, what kind of boba? The boba that I almost fried my laptop with. It actually was fine. It didn't go anywhere. It's honey milk tea, and I did like the boba myself, like I said, but it's not like black because I don't have black food coloring, so I don't know what else to do to make it like darker. So it's just kind of like tan boba. Maybe I should just make them like colorful instead. There they go. Zarna says, I'm trying to start the second draft of my novel, but I don't know how to start. Honestly, what are novels? Like, who are they? I don't I don't know how to write novels. I have no idea. I'm so sorry. I wish I could help. I'm writing like my 12th one right now because seventh virtue is my 12th, feeding habits is my 11th. And I still don't know how to write novels. Like, I don't know what those are. Brooke says, I'm having a depressive episode and writing's really hard right now. I'm really sorry to hear that. I'm sending so much love to you. You know what? It's really difficult, I think, to write, especially when you're not feeling your best. So I'm wishing you well and good luck for your project in the future. But yeah, take care of yourself. Ava says, fantasy's so hard. I can't world build. I know. My world building is like taking notes and being like, does that make sense? And then like kind of doing it, realizing it doesn't make sense, then having to like do something else. Um, August says, I like to read adult literary fiction and YA fantasy because even reading fantasy, I feel extremely dumb. I do not know what's happening. I know, like when I read fantasy, I read like a first chapter of, is it the fifth season by N.K. Jemisin? I might be saying all of those things wrong. I'm so sorry. But it was really good. The prose was so good, but I was like, I feel like I don't understand because my little pea brain it's not working for this. But so people who write and read fantasy, you guys, my fantasy is chaos, but I like it at the same time. Um I am so behind on the comments. Let's see. I see that Marion says just started the first chapter of a new novel, not fantasy though. That's cool though. I feel like starting new novels is always pretty fun because you kind of have like new horizons. Al says the way I approach fantasy is just lit fic, except everyone has a sword. That's literally how I am writing fantasy right now. Yeah, it's just fostered, but it's magic. Um, um, Ava says, I feel like I used to know how to write novels, but in the last few months I've completely forgotten. I get it. I feel like I understood like story structure and like how to do that better than I do now. Yeah, I don't get it. I know how to write a short story, but ask me to write a novel, I don't know. Even though I've written novels way longer than I've written short stories. Like I don't know. Um Ooh, Surla says, I write original fairy tales to answer my fairy tale question. They're mostly meant to be read out loud to kids. They're pretty formulaic moral tales, set up premise and the three challenges and then the moral delivery. That is so cool. To be writing new fairy tales. That's really great. Kay says, I haven't been able to write a novel since I started my writing degree. Friendship ended with novels, only short stories now. I get that. Like, honestly, also, since I started my writing degree, I don't know how to write a novel. And to be fair, I don't know if I understood how to write a novel before then, but I think because my degree right now is focused on short fiction, um, I get that too. Ooh. ADL's Life? I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. I just started a new poetry collection, and so far I'm loving it. That's amazing. People who can write poetry collections. I am so happy for you. I don't know. I'm such a disaster when it comes to everything that I write. I'm like, does this work in a collection? Do you have tips on how to write a poetry collection? That's amazing. Um, I have always wanted to do that. So and Alan says, "Short stories are easier than novels." I say, as I haven't written one in nearly 6 months. Yeah, that's me. I've been doing like a short story a month thing, but I have not done one for this month. So when we've been talking for almost 16 minutes. When we get to the writing sprint in maybe like 5 minutes, um, I am supposed to be finishing that short story for the month, but honestly, I had a really great beginning of the year, and now I'm like, "What is short story?" I don't and I'm making, like, all of the errors that I, like, tell people not to do. I'm just, like, messing up the whole beginning of the short story, but that's okay. That happens with writing. Sometimes you forget, but it's like riding a bike, except sometimes it's not, and you just never remember. Um August says poetry collections are just like read all your poems and decide what do I decide? Help. Help August. I was assuming like because I'm trying to like compile a chapbook right now and I don't understand. I was like, I don't know what poems go where, so I'm just gonna be chaotic about it. And that's honestly how I've gotten all my poems published so far. So I'm like, maybe that's my process. Maybe chaos is calling me. Um Sufwan Stevens says, I can only write flash fiction lately, but I'm planning on outlining a novel soon. I totally feel you with only being able to write flash fiction lately. I think I took a flash fiction class before the end of the term. So a few weeks ago, probably like 2 months ago almost, with Ming Chang. And since then, I've just been like unable to write long short stories. So like 1,200 words and below is kind of where I'm enjoying things. So I get that. Um, August says, decide what thing you're obsessed with that comes up in a bunch of poems, and now you have the beginning of a collection. That is smart advice. I should do that. I feel like with my poems, they never like have a theme. They're just like, here's a poem about an orca whale. Here's a poem about not that. Like, is that a thing? Because I know in short story collections, like you can have like varied stories that aren't based off of the same theme per se. But in poetry collections, I wonder if that's the same thing. I guess I don't know. Maybe not. Margot says I've finished one chapter of my novel and I'm stumbling through, but can't wait until my character becomes unhinged. I think unhinged characters are the way to go. Honestly, unhinged wins. Al says short stories are all fun and great until you realize that you just finished the first draft, and editing is a thing that looms over you in the not far future. I know. Oh my god, all of my stories have been. I told myself not to do this. I told myself I wouldn't be in this position where I have a whole bunch of short stories on my computer and they're not at like a magazine and they're just collecting dust because I haven't edited them. And here I am, tired and unmotivated. So I feel that. um, I see. I'm so sorry, August. I know you hit enter too early. It's okay. Thank you for your tips because I need assistance with my poetry um life. Nathan says I finished my graphic novel during Camp Nano, but my day job has been way too intense, so I haven't touched it, let alone started a revision. That's so cool that you're writing a graphic novel. How's the process for that like? August says, "You don't need a theme like for poetry collections. You just need a vibe and then a name for the vibe." Okay. I will try to follow that because today, as I compile the chaos that is my chat book, I don't know what it is. I'm just trying to put together all the poems that I wrote in some like semblance that makes sense, like over workshop. So maybe I can find a vibe. Who knows? Um, Ash says, I've been writing 5,000 words for 5 months. And being the person I am, I keep on getting new ideas. Honestly, sometimes you gotta go on the little new idea adventures. My dogs are barking right now. I don't know if you can hear them. If they start getting really mad at each other, they don't really like each other. I have two dogs. I have a bulldog. His name is Winston. And she's like a senior citizen who doesn't want to hang out with him. She's a Shih Tzu and Bichon Frise mix. Her name is Luna. And Winston likes her, but she doesn't like, or he doesn't like, she doesn't like him, is what I'm saying. Yeah. So they don't really get along. But it's okay. Winston's trying, but Luna is like, I am too old for this. I don't want to hang out with you because Winston's much younger than her. And he's also like bigger than her. And she has like small dog syndrome. So yeah, they get into fights. But it's okay. She has her couch that she likes to sit on, and so she likes to look out all the neighbors and like bombard them. I think it's like a small dog thing. And so even if you like close the curtain, it's like, Luna, please stop, they're not doing anything to you. Muse says, I haven't been able to work on my novel between school, moving, and job the last couple of weeks, but I'm playing with an idea that might change up the plot in an interesting way. So that's exciting. That's awesome. I love like incorporating changes. I think sometimes we all need a little bit of a change when we're writing something. That's kind of what I did with feeding habits too. Before we start talking and kind of moving into the writing sprint thing, Reka, or is it Rika or Reka? Let me know. I don't want to pronounce your name wrong. I just read The Girls by Emma Cline because you recommended it, and oh my god, it's become my personality now. Her use of language is so immaculate. I could never. Anybody who reads The Girls by Emma Cline, that must now be a personality trait. It's just kind of like a thing. It's very good. I haven't read it since I actually read it like the original time in 2018, so I haven't read it through. But I'm thinking I might read it. The prose is fantastic. August says, our dog just comes into my room, eats cat food, and then throws up immediately, and still does it every day. Pets, they're so interesting, aren't they? Oh, look at this nice message. Carmi says, hi, Rachel. I just want to say I love you and thank you so much for inspiring me to write for myself and start a YouTube channel and become a better writer in general. You're a wonderful human. Well, thank you so much. You started a YouTube channel. That's so cool. I'll check out your channel. I will make sure to note that. That's amazing. I am so happy to be here and to share my writing journey with you guys. Ooh, Dallin says, read Kids in Kindergarten, which is the short story that won the CBC Short Story Prize this year, the other day because of an Ask You Answered, and it was so good. It was so good. Like, it's really good. Like, I can tell, like, one of the jurors was Sulikham Themavangsha, and you can, like, that's a total Sulikham story. So I love it. It's fantastic. The writer, I forgot the writer's name, but it's really good and you can read it online. It's pretty short too. All right, so I think we could move into a sprint if you guys want. Do you want to do 15 minutes? I think I usually do 15 minutes. I don't know if I can figure out how to share my screen, but I think I can do it. But we could do like maybe 15-minute chat. Ooh, Ava says, recently read Baba by Ming Chang. One of the best things I've ever read, right? Ming Chang is so good. I love Ming Chang's work so much. And Carmi says, the Feeding Habits audiobook is everything. That is so nice because I have been feeling really like, I don't know, stressed or like a little bit nervous or like anxious or insecure about feeding habits and, the audio. Because I don't like listening to myself read. Like, it embarrasses me. I don't mind listening to myself talk, like in my YouTube videos. I'll watch my YouTube videos all the time. Like, it's fine. But the audiobooks, I cannot stand listening to myself read. So I always just like, I kind of hate them whenever I put them up, and then I feel like, oh no, this is not good. So, it makes me feel good. Like, I've gotten a few comments recently where people are like, I love the audiobook. And so it means a lot. And so the comments, they go a long way. I really appreciate it. So I'll try to upload chapter 5. I was gonna do the whole book, and then I like psyched myself out and I was like, I'm not gonna do the whole book. but maybe I will. There's only 10 chapters, so it might not be a bad idea. I just have to like probably remove things and kind of fix things up for the internet. I remember like listening to the chapter 4 one, which is I said in 20 what year was this when I wrote it? It was the 2020 wrap up video. I was like, that was my favorite thing I read or I wrote. And then when not the favorite thing I read. And then when I went to go like listen to it again, I was like, I don't know about this. So I really appreciate it. Um, okay, y'all are just hyping me up in the comments. Thank you. Anne says, I listen to your audiobooks for inspiration. That's so nice. Sometimes I'm like, maybe I'll just like pull them off of the internet, but I wouldn't want to like disappoint anybody. So that makes me feel better. Thank you. I appreciate it. So let's do a sprint. We'll do 15 minutes, and I have this. I need to edit this. I've edited 1 page of Seventh Virtue, and it's been 2 weeks, so I got to do it. There's 52 of you here. Oh my goodness! Hello to everybody. I did not realize that there were that many people here. So I gotta open this, and I wish I could show you, but my thing doesn't want to show you what it looks like. But I've been marking it up. Oh, look, you can see it kind of. I've been marking it up. With like marker and stuff and pencil whenever I make an error or I want to change something. And I honestly haven't been like trying to do that much editing on Seventh Virtue, but I just needed to fix the beginning a bit. So I'm going to move this cup over here again. Oh, wow. Ava says, I listened to chapter 2 of Feeding Habits and then proceeded to write some of the best prose of my life. That is so kind. Wow. I remember after I wrote chapter 2 Feeding Habits, chapter 3 was so hard to write. So I'm happy that like you're getting some of the energy from from that because last summer, dude, Feeding Habits doesn't like me, so it's okay. Maybe that's why I'm like, I don't know if I like this book because it doesn't like me, so it's kind of mutual. But anyway, let me open my document real quick. What are you guys working on? I always say we'll do a writing sprint and then it's like 30 minutes of talking because I like talking to you. So yeah, what are you working on today? You can do whatever. Like if you have something to read, you could do that. I'm just doing some editing because I really got to do this. I've been avoiding it. And then I might write some of the short story I was writing, which is about like a carousel, which is interesting. So let me get my document. Okay, I have it. Adiel, or I'm sorry, I feel bad if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Working on a poetry collection, which is great. I want to write more poems, honestly. So Safwan Stevens is working on a flash fiction based on a prompt. Flash based on a prompt sometimes just like hits different. So that's awesome. Ooh, everybody is working on flash fiction. Kay is working on a flash piece about survivor's guilt in palmistry. I love palmistry. That's so cool. Anytime I want like specific detail about a hand, I'm like, hello, we're gonna look into palmistry now. Jocelyn is working on a new novel, first attempt at literary fiction. Ooh, yay, good luck. And then Anne is gonna start a new short story. That's awesome. Nathan's illustrating comic characters to post on Twitter. That's so fun. Sir Loss is right now working on a fairy tale about trying to cross a cursed river. Ooh, cursed river. Cursed reminds me, I watched Cursed on Netflix, and I really liked that show. I've been trying to watch more like fantasy stuff, and so that one was pretty fun. William's working on a romance set in a post-apocalypse in a magical realism style, as if written by Virginia Woolf. That is very specific. Ooh. Tons of people are working on short stories. Brooke's working on a coming-of-age novel. That's amazing. I love coming-of-age novels. That's probably my favorite genre. Ava's working on When We Drown. I love that title. It's so good. And Kim is working on the developmental edit of my novel, and it's the part of writing I hate the most. Oh, I don't like developmental edits either, so I'm sending you so much luck because I know you can do it. Um, but I know that feeling. Don's finishing the dissertation profile. Very exciting. Yes, I agree. That is that is riveting. Amber is working on a contemporary novel, hoping to reach the goal for the end of the month. That's amazing. What's your goal? Um, Milk says I've put aside trying to write a full story and started writing random pieces and scenes that come to mind that slowly build up. Honestly, it's helped me so much when so much with getting better at writing. I've actually heard some writers actually do that, and I think that actually sounds pretty fun and like a really effective way to just like explore things, because sometimes you just want to have fun. Um, all right, so I'm going to share the screen allegedly. Um, Share video file. No, I wanna share the screen. Um, Screen sharing tips. Screen sharing is easiest with 2 monitors. Well, I don't have mine right now, so don't show these tips. Share screen. Oh, I can show a Chrome tab, and I can do the timer. There we go. Can you see this? Oh, I think you can. Okay, so I'm going to mute myself, and then we'll do 15 minutes, and then let's come back and chat, and then maybe we can do, like, 1 more. Okay, I'm gonna start it now. Okay, so that ended. I hope that you can now just see my face. I think, oh my god, I literally put my own I'm so bad at this. um, hope that went I hope that went well for you. It went pretty good. Like, I think for me, it's kind of hard, I think, to edit what I'm editing right now. It's actually not as difficult as I'm making it seem, but it is a bit like finicky and annoying because there's just like really small things that I have to change that can like when you're like editing and you're playing Jenga. So like if you like accidentally move something or like you pull something out of one place, like it'll just like kind of topple over somewhere else. That's kind of the nature of editing right now for Seventh Virtue. Brooke says, "I only wrote 160 words. I'm slow. That's okay. I think that's pretty similar to how much I usually write in 15 minutes too. Um, and you know what? Now you have 160 more words than you did 15 minutes ago. So, um, Ava got 121 words, but used mirage as a verb. Ooh, I would feel productive too. That's a good verb. I love that." Kay forgot we were even in a live stream while writing. I almost forgot to. I totally get that. I was like, "Oh wait, I hope I turned off my microphone because otherwise y'all would have just heard the boba straw." Uh, um. Oh, Sarah's here. Can't stay for long, but hey, everyone, hello. It's nice to have you. Um. African Violet says, "I have no words because I can't find my laptop. I'm so sorry, but I've been there." Um, Mr. Blue Sky, 291 words. That's awesome. Congrats. Milk says, "I love that you make the sprints for 15 minutes instead of half an hour or more. It seems less overwhelming." Do people do sprints for half an hour? I guess. You can do sprints for however long, but that's interesting. I don't usually ever do sprints that long. The longest sprints, like the ones that I usually do, like if I'm writing myself, is like 20 minutes. Because I usually get into like a flow state if the sprint is successful at maybe around like the 10-minute mark. So that gives me enough time to, really get into it for the rest of the time. But I like doing the 15-minute ones on here because they're brief and then we can get back to talking. um, Sir Lost filled a page, got some fun ideas to play with. That's awesome. August got almost 300 words. That's amazing. Makes me wonder how many typos are in there. Sometimes when I'm writing, it's just like I gotta go. I'm just typing. And sometimes like I just like to flex on myself and like type so fast that it's absolutely incomprehensible what I've typed out. So, but I'm sure yours is fine. um, Dallin actually got some university work done. Officially becoming a study tuber. Yes, you are. Oh my gosh. Are you doing like the schooling online? Um, if so, good luck. I know you can do it, but online school is difficult. So I've been there. um, Ava says, "I've seen people do sprints for a whole hour. Those people frighten me. How do you do sprint for an hour? I don't, y'all, those people are strengthy. I don't have that strength. No." Anne wrote 160 words. That's amazing. Self-Juan Stevens wrote 200 words. Just tried discovery writing and you're really enjoying it. That's fantastic. I got an ask recently on like people being interested in getting into discovery writing. So that's really cool that more people are trying out the pantsing process. Margot says, "Got to 40 and then my dog tab shut down. I'm so sorry. I hope that like the work is safe and stuff, but um it's okay. You'll get them next time, but 40 words is still fantastic too. Um if we wrote 40 words every day, then we would have a lot of words by the end of the week. I don't know math, so I can't, I can't do the math on that, but progress is what I say. Um Dallin says we were meant to have online versus like in-person learning, meant to have blended, but it went online, so I dropped out for the year. Like, bye. I feel you. That's a smart decision. I think it'll probably be online next year too. Yeah. My school is like, we are opening, and I'm like, really? So we'll see how that goes. Amber wrote 181 words. It's going well so far. That's fantastic. 181 words is awesome. I haven't drafted. I'm hearing all your word counts, and I'm getting word count envy because I haven't drafted in so long. The last time I drafted felt like I was in school. I wasn't in school, but for some reason I felt like I was. um, yeah, it must have been weeks ago, and so I haven't written anything. I've just been procrastinating editing this chapter, which I don't know what's wrong with me because I like this chapter. It's so fun. Um, African Violet says they want us back in school next year. I learned nothing. I totally feel that. Honestly, online learning when it's meant to be online, like because I took online classes in high school, those were great and it was fine. And like I did all my work early, so then I had like days off in the week. It was great, it was fantastic. Online learning during a pandemic, no, 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 I don't want to do it. So I feel you. All the luck sending to my students, or everybody honestly in the pandemic right now. Amita says, "My school's IRL right now." Wow, that's cool. I don't know if schools here have reopened. I don't know. Sometimes I'm really up to date on the COVID news, but then one day it's just like there's so much. So sometimes it's kind of hard to to know what's going on. Um, now this online uni is going to be my villain origin story. I agree. I will also be a villain at the end of this pandemic. Hi, Geo. It's so nice to see you. C True says, "Thank you, Rachel. That was really cool. Have to go now, though. Goodbye. Thank you so much for attending, and good luck to you as well with all your work in progress." Ava says, "Last time I drafted more than 100 words was a day when I wrote 6,000 words, and I thought it was the end of my writer's block, but nope, I decided to stop writing in the perfect spot to get in a rut again." I do that all the time. I feel like we do that sometimes. It just happens. It's like I'm setting myself up for success, but I'm just not gonna draft, and that's okay. Honestly, drafting is there. It's not gonna go away. And so first drafting is also it's also nice to go slow because it's like that first time experience. Um, Liv says my school's been online for a few weeks, but we're going back on Wednesday, and I'm kind of scared. Is this like high school, or university? That sounds horrible. I'm so sorry. But I wonder if like I don't know how because I've heard things about like how they're doing the high schools here. I don't know how it works in other places, but I'm hoping that there's enough like um distancing, everyone's masked up and stuff. Pandemic life is so weird, guys. Um, August says, "I always try to leave myself in the middle of a scene when I stop writing." And this is like actually a fantastic piece of advice. It's something that I have unconsciously been trying to do more of. Like, I don't know, especially because sometimes I get like so anxious to start things that it's like easier, like, to start where you have like momentum. I know that the last thing I left off in Feeding Habits, I haven't written Feeding Habits in like over a month. Oops. I abandoned it for my chaotic gay fantasy. Um I'll go back to it, but for now, I left it off at the end of a scene and I know it was an error. I was like, that was a mistake. Like the Windows error message is popping up in my head right now. Um Y'all have 900 students. It's high school. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm sending you the best of luck. Um I can't imagine doing high school, like, online. Um, I did do classes, like I said, but it's not the same at all. There's also a huge social aspect too. I mean, even as somebody who didn't really socialize in high school, there's still a social aspect that is important. So I can totally understand missing out on that. So I'm sending you good vibes. Yesterday on like my house's driveway, I found some chalk in the in the garage, and my brother, sister, and we have been playing a lot of Mario Kart on my brother. He has like a Switch. Is that what it's called? I don't know anything about games. So we've been playing a lot of Mario Kart because I am a self-proclaimed Mario Kart winner. But for the version on the Nintendo 64, like I'm fantastic at that one. But it was terrible. For the one on the Switch, it's just different. I used to also have the one on like the Game Boy. That was awesome too. Anyway, so what was I saying? We have been playing that, and it's just been chaotic because every single time like I want to I want to write, I'm like Mario Kart. Let's do that instead. Um but that's what I've been doing. That's literally this is my confession. Instead of doing writing, I've been playing Mario Kart. I think I was going somewhere with that and then I forgot what I was saying. So, the TLDR, Rachel's playing a lot of Mario Kart recently. Oops. Oh, that's what somebody said Liv says good vibes. That's where I was going with this. I was saying that with the Mario Kart thing, yesterday on my driveway, let's finish the driveway story. That's what I was talking about. I went out and I found chalk and I wrote like I didn't I'm a writer. I didn't write, I drew on the driveway like hearts in like a line. So it's like a valley. So I call it Good Vibes Valley. It's really cute. I love it. But it's hearts like with like a smiley face in the center. So that's where I was going with that. So I'm wishing everybody a happy Good Vibes Valley. Everybody, let's go visit that. So that's what I was trying to say with that. But also, yes, I have not been writing because I've been playing Mario Kart. um. Oh, Brooke has to go now. Goodbye. Thank you so much for attending. I hope that you got some work done. Dallin says, "Who in the fostered cast would destroy the others in Mario Kart?" This is a very, very good question. I feel there are many ways this could go. So if we're talking about the main cast, it's Foster, Reeve, Harrison, and Lonan. My squad. Who's going to be the best at Mario Kart? I think Harrison thinks he's the best, but he actually sucks. But he doesn't suck bad, but like it's not great. Like you're not as good as you think you are. I think Lonan says he's the best, has the best strategies, but can sometimes lose because he is being too logical and not prepared for blue shells, maybe. I think Foster would be great at Mario Kart, but also he wouldn't want to like hurt people's feelings by like passing them. So he would like purposefully lose. And I think Reeve would not know how to drift like me. And so she would like run into corners all the time and get really frustrated and like throw the controller. I think that's how it would go. But I think I would beat them all. um don't feel disappointed. African Violet says, I feel disappointed because you have no work done, but it's okay. Sometimes we just need to like chill, like sit down and do nothing. That's what I do most of the time. I was being very productive after school ended, and then now I'm just like absolutely not. I can't do anything. It's been it's been hard. I think I've just been. What have you been up to every day? It might look like I am a productive person, but I actually, for the last week, have just watched Criminal Minds and played Mario Kart. Like I said. So this turned into a Mario Kart stream, I guess. We should probably do another sprint because it's been an hour. We could do one more, and then I'll close everything off. Allie says, I've been playing Sims 4. That's cool. What do you do in The Sims? I don't know what to do in that game. I've never, I've seen and I've heard things about it, but I've never played it myself. I know you can, build things in it. Like, you can, make like rooms? Can you do that? Like design things? I don't know, but is it like a life thing? You're just like living a digital kind of life for characters? Um, Amita's writing a paper about Jonestown. Interesting. So, um, that's fascinating. I mean, that's a something that I've learned about since I was growing up because my parents are from Guyana, and so Jonestown was in Guyana, so that's really interesting. But I recently, maybe a few months ago, listened to the coverage on that case because if you don't know, I love true crime, so that's very cool. That is very interesting to me. Um, I agree, Ava. Time is fake. It doesn't feel like it's been an hour. August says, I always procrastinate writing with drawing and vice versa, so I'm pretty much always doing something. I feel this as somebody who like does so much. Like sometimes I get like a lot of the time, not sometimes, I get out of writing by like doing something else because like I'm a writing major. I'm tired. Like I don't know. Maybe on author tubers, like you might expect them to like write a lot. I don't. I do other things a lot during the day. But even then, like I recently drew like a sketch which I posted on my art Instagram, which I barely post on. But yeah, I do have an art Instagram. And that was fun, but it was so tiring. I think I've just lost like the ability to like do things. I'm just tired, I can't wait for the pandemic to be over, but I have been learning um I've been trying to learn like all of Marika Hackman's songs from We Slept at Last, which is I think her debut album. And so I have been learning all of the songs. So I've been working on Monday Afternoon, and that one is so hard. It's the hardest thing I have ever played on that instrument, but I think I've gotten it. So look out for a vlog because I'm going to put that in there, even though I will probably get demonetized. Because the last time I put a full Marika Hackman song in a video, they said, we don't want to monetize you. So, the rating, like the sprint timer that I posted, I like did covers of songs and they thought it was so good because the algorithm could pick up that I was playing something, cognizantly, and so they don't let me monetize that. So I do that a lot, where I will just play guitar instead. But it's okay. Life is short. Do what you want. Anne has to go. Goodbye, Anne. It was so nice to have you here. Thank you so much for stopping by. Um. Oh, I feel like I missed something. Oh, it's about The Sims. You build houses, make families, then watch them live their lives. Is that what you do in The Sims? That's interesting. Um, it's fun to make characters from your work in progress in places. I actually wanted to get The Sims for this reason, but then I was like, I don't know anything about video games, so maybe I don't know. Um, but video games are so fun. I need some recommendations then. Um, Ava wants to learn guitar. So, like, what I did when I wanted to learn guitar, because I'm self-taught, I guess. I just taught myself guitar or learned from my dad, and then my brothers are both like geniuses at music. And so sometimes they help out. But I mean, I really learned by myself through like tabs, and now I'm like good enough. I've been playing guitar for like 6 years, so now I'm getting better to like learn things by ear. But yeah, usually I just do tabs or I write my own tabs because my brother always laughs at me because he's like, why do you need a tab? And I'm like, listen, I'm going to forget how to play this. And in 10 years, or not even next month, when I want to play the song, I'm going to forget. So I write a tab, usually. So my hack is find a song that you love and play it for like 12 years straight. Like that's what I do. I like play one song 20 times. My family's probably tired of hearing them, but it's okay. I'm not. So um African Violence says get a Roblox account and buy some Robux and get this game called Bloxburg. It's a cheaper alternative because you have to buy packs and stuff. I loved Roblox, like, for the Hunger Games Roblox. Was anybody else here for that? Um, I was I was obsessed with the Hunger Games when I was younger, since like about grade 5 or 6. Love the Hunger Games. And they had like a Hunger Games game on Roblox. I don't know if they have it anymore because the last time I tried to play it I was probably much younger. Obviously, it was probably an early teenager or maybe like maybe even 13. Like I think it had gotten hacked, so like you couldn't play anymore. But it was so fun to play the Hunger Games. You would literally be in the Hunger Games, and I won once. It was so fun. And then people would like chase after you in Roblox. So Ava says, I want to learn guitar so I can play all of Nothing But Thieves songs. That's why I love guitar too. I want to learn more NBT songs. I know a few. Um, can't remember. I know Take This Lonely Heart. I know Lover You Should Have Come Over. Or, oh my god. Yeah, well, that's a cover of I know the NBT cover of that song. And then I know what is their lover song? Lover Please Stay. I know many. I know If I Get High, which I'll put these as probably vlog intros at some point if I don't get demonetized cuz sometimes they like to get you. Which is fair. Um I like the egg game in Roblox. Wow, I'm compelled. Egg game? What do you do? Um, August says, I'm a fake musician. I play 6 instruments, but I can hardly read music. Same. I used to be able to read music, but I was so bad at theory when I was a kid. I took 3 years of piano lessons that my teacher had to take me back like many levels. Like she had to take me to a different type of book because I was really bad at it. It wasn't even that I was bad at it, it was because I didn't practice. I was good at piano. I suck at reading music and now I don't remember. I used to play flute in high school and so I was better at it, but now it's been a long time. These are skills you need to, kind of practice with and I don't I didn't practice, so I forgot. Playing the songs from my work in progress playlist on guitar is self-care, to be honest. I do that all the time, and I just, like, imagine the scene, and so I can get, like, really into it. It's really fun. I do that all the time. ADL says, "I have to go, but it was fun hanging out and talking and whatnot. I'm so happy that you, decided to stop by, um, and I hope that you had fun." Um Aiden says, sometimes I tell myself I can write songs for my novels, and then I try it and realize I, in fact, cannot. The last time I wrote a song for my novel was for I'm Disappointed. You could probably find it on my blog, but it's terrible. I posted the lyrics, I think. Ali says, started an Instagram for my Sims. That's so fun. Um, August says, I can read music for choir, but then making my hands also understand to read music. Why do that when I can just write down C, G, A minor, D? I agree. That is why I used to do that in high school because I was a very good flute player. I don't remember how to play it now, but I was just better if I just wrote down the thing. So I did the same thing. It's okay. Some people will say it's wrong, but I say I'm doing me. And it worked for me. And I was great until I forgot how to play that instrument. Um, so yeah, let us do one more sprint. Um, we can do a shorter one if you want. Or do you guys like the 15-minute one? Let me know. We could either do 10 minutes or we can do 15 minutes. Um, but yeah, this has been really fun. I'm really liking working on Seventh Virtue. I didn't think that I could have this much fun writing this book because I didn't think I was actually ever going to write it. And I was wrong. I'm having so much fun. African Violet says, go 15 minutes. Okay, we'll do 15 minutes then because you said. Thank you. Let me reset. Oh, look, it reset the timer. So now I'll just share it. Um, share screen. Share screen. Chrome tab. Here we go. All right. I'm going to mute myself and then we'll come back and decompress. I'm a dummy. I didn't hit stop. I'll start it. Hold on. Here we go. There we go. Now you can actually start. All right, so that was the end of that sprint. How did that go for everybody? I didn't really do, I didn't really do much because this is the most Rachel thing that has happened. I needed to insert some like a list of specific details, um, and it just took me so long. So I have been trying to get one for. There's like a sentence. Let me see if I can find it. Where I needed like a short list um about like things that Foster likes. But I couldn't come up with anything. So the sentence is um in the kitchen, Foster makes Harrison a mug of lemongrass tea, which is specific. That's fine. Two stalks tempted their reedy base, brewed in a hand painted china pot. Foster lives life like this, carefully decorated. He cares about the way things look, about the sound of the things he consumes and creates. Um, and then there's like a like a dot there, like where I need to fill it in with like things that kind of sound like fancy, or like specific in general. So I was trying to think of things, but I already wrote all of them in. So um because Foster has a lot of hobbies, so I feel like I've already put them later in the chapter. So I'm trying to think of like other things that kind of sound fancy, but I was having a hard time. So I was like Googling, but it wasn't very successful. But beyond that, I did finally move past that paragraph and I did fix some more things, which is good. Um, let's see how you guys did. Ava says wrote a very melodramatic poem, and that is the best kind of poem, in my opinion. We need the emotions. African Violet says terrible. I need to go back to the drawing board. I can't do dialogue to save my life. Dialogue is really tricky, um, because it's kind of like a mix of how we talk, but it's like a very curated way of how we talk. And so I totally understand why this is really difficult. I have a video on like subtext and dialogue, which is like I think my only dialogue video, but I was analyzing some dialogue and that might help. It's one of my more recent videos. But dialogue is tricky because you have to do a lot with it. So I can totally understand why that is not easy. Um, August wrote 350 words. The book turned gay sooner than expected. That's a lot of words. And also, we love that it went gay. That's how my book is too. I was like, I wasn't expecting this so early on. I mean, I knew it was gonna happen. I just didn't think it was gonna happen so early on, which I'm not mad about. So I totally understand that. Um, Margot wrote almost 500 words and reached your word count goal? Wow, that's a lot. That's amazing. Congratulations. Nunu says, I watched a dude polishing his rusty knife instead of writing my novel. That's so funny. I love videos like that. I know this is like not probably the exact same, but in the genre of like kind of like utensil things, I like to watch people carve spoons like to fall asleep. That's pretty fun. Um Dallin says 164 words, but they're all tender and gay. Oh, well, you know what? Those are the best kind of words. So, and 164 words of them, that's the best. Ooh, Ava's poem wasn't about ghosts, but it was about death. That's fun. We not death is fun, but death poems are always fantastic. Um, there's so much to explore, I feel, because it's such a big topic. There's so many ways that you can approach it. Stein, I hope I'm saying your name correctly, wrote 98 words. Could have been longer because my character's name has the I don't know what is I'm so terrible. Is that like it look to me how I read it as a horrible person is a U with a line on top. But someone educate me on what is that symbol? The letter and needed it to be uppercase and it was so annoying. That's so interesting. Well, how do you like go about doing that? I guess there's probably like keyboards or you could copy and paste probably. I don't know. That's interesting. Um, that's like every time I need to like find a letter with like an E accent on it. I always have to go copy and paste from somewhere. um, 309 words on the Jonestown paper. Also, the subtext video taught me a lot. I'm really happy to hear that. I'll probably do more just because it's kind of like fan service for myself. I love, especially when analyzing Hannibal. I would analyze my own writing, but I feel like my dialogue is not that good, like to analyze in that way. So I might do more from Hannibal, because I love that show. I think the dialogue is really good. Milk says dialogue is where my brain freezes. I get very anxious that it'll be too cringy or too dramatic or underwhelming. I totally have this exact worry too. Especially when I was writing moth work. It's like a year and a half ago. I really had that worry too. And so every single time I would write dialogue, I would go and delete it and then try to like decringify it. Or when I was editing it, I would just like delete everything because I was like, this is not good. When in reality, it's honestly, I think just us being our worst critics, honestly. But dialogue is tricky. Probably one of the hardest parts of writing for me too. Margot has to go. Thanks for the stream. Hope you do some more in the future if you can. I definitely will try to do more in the future. Thank you so much for stopping by. Um, Milk says, like, how do people even speak? Honestly, dialogue is fake. Like, that is not how we talk. It's a really doctored version, I think, of speaking, which is why it's tricky. Um, Kay says we love any kind of craft videos. I wanted to ask you about what kind of videos y'all wanted to see from me. So, craft videos, that could be one. I know that I have like a whole community tab post on craft things that people had suggested things on. So I can look back into that. But let me know if there's something like you really want to see from me. And I'll write it down. Dallin says, always worry my dialogue doesn't have enough depth or hidden meaning. But I think for me, showing character dynamics is the priority. Yeah, I think that's fair. And also, like, I think a lot of like the hidden meaning in dialogue is like unintentional because like when we speak to people like we probably are like using a lot of like symbolism and stuff that you could pull out in an analysis that you may not necessarily like notice on the while you're writing it. And even if the dialogue doesn't have that, I also don't think that that's all dialogue needs to be. I agree, character dynamics definitely are the priority. um I just got an email from a magazine that I submitted to, and I thought it was like an acceptance, but no, it's just an email. It's okay. Um, Ava says, "How am I supposed to write believable dialogue if I can't even communicate with other humans?" Not sure how that's supposed to work. I know, right? Well, the good thing about dialogue is that I feel like it's not how actual humans speak. I'm not sure if that helps. It's weird. I have a lot of notes from like my first year writing course, and they were, teaching screenwriting, and some screenwriting techniques can, pull over to fiction, and even in fiction, they're talking about dialogue. It's really interesting, complicated topic, I think, and I feel like I'm not good enough at dialogue to make a good video on that. Besides with other people's work, maybe. Stein says, "Am I the only one writing screenplays here, or does everyone here write novels? Does anybody write screenplays?" Um, I always wanted to be good at screenwriting, but I feel like my fiction brain kind of takes over, and I don't really know how to like be super brief. And I think that's pretty probably important. I don't know in screenwriting. Um, Scree77 Cat says, "You're unbelievably underrated. You have inspired me so much. Watching your videos inspired me to finish my book. Oh my gosh, and I can't thank you enough." That is so wonderful to hear. I'm so happy that I could assist you in any way. I just love putting these videos out here. It's like really like kind of mind blowing when I think that like I have a platform and that like people like watch these videos and like feel inspired by them because I still feel like that person, like who is really looking up to like author tubers or like just writers in general. And so it always like it like makes my day whenever I get comments like that. That's really sweet. Because we've all been, I think, like I'm a fan too. I'm a fan of you guys, so it's so nice to chat with you. um Sir Law says, "Found studying play slash theater has really helped with dialogue. Reading them always feels a little stilted, but hearing it really shows me how much work the reader does for the dialogue. I agree. I feel like plays in a lot of ways might actually be more akin to how dialogue is written in fiction than in screen. I don't know, the very little that I know about dialogue, it might be I don't know. I honestly, I probably don't have any qualifications to talk about that, but I feel like from the plays that I've seen, they have an interesting way of communicating, that I think is kind of more similar, in a way, or interesting because of the techniques that you could pull for fiction. So I think that's interesting too. I remember I saw one before, when I was at school. It was like one, I don't know the exact name of these things, but it was one where the production hasn't like gone into um anything, like it's just like two people reading. It was really fantastic. Even that alone was just super entertaining. Scree says, I feel like the more you think about talking, the less real it feels. I agree. It's so weird. Like, what are the words coming out of my mouth right now? Selena says one of projects is a TV script. That's great. I love TV scripts. I think TV shows have to do so much work in like such a small space. And I think it's fantastic. I've been watching a lot of TV lately, so I'd love to actually write like a TV pilot maybe one day. Milk says, one thing that helps me is watching movies. Having visuals of people speaking is the closest thing I can get to a more natural dialogue. Yeah, I definitely think you can use screenwriting um, to kind of inform um, your dialogue. I think the some of the most interesting dialogue to look at is dialogue that is adapted from a book to the screen. It is interesting to see like what have they changed, what have they not changed, and I think that's also like a really fantastic way to like look at what techniques can transfer over versus what techniques maybe can't transfer over as much. It's something I was looking at a few weeks ago actually. Scree77 says, when I write dialogue before I write down the important points I need to hit, then I just try to let the scene flow, if that makes sense. That makes sense. I've heard of people actually doing that, kind of writing out the dialogue first. Um, Stein says American Psycho keeps most of the book dialogue in the movie too, and it's interesting to see. I feel like that is like sometimes like or like often the case. So at least the adaptations that I've seen where they do keep the book dialogue. I wonder why that is. But I wonder if you could keep like the TV or like movie dialogue in a book. I guess it would depend on the situation and like the conversation that they're having, but Tyler asks, "Do you do book covers still?" Yes, I do. I make book covers all the time. And I am so sorry that I just keep spamming the content of book covers, but I just have so much. I got to get it off of my hard drive. Oh, that comes to a very good, moment in the stream. I want to ask you what you want to see next on my channel because I have I have a lot. Oh my gosh. I'm just looking at my list for yesterday I went to the grocery store for the first time, like in person, because it's been like 2 weeks since I got my vaccine. And I'm just looking at my list, because it's my notes. It's it's fantastic. I got everything. I was so happy yesterday. But I've been, working on a few videos and I want to see which ones you guys want to see first. And since we're on the stream, I have a writing vlog filmed. I have a double spaced like podcast episode filmed on like writing the same project multiple times, like over different genres. Then I have a book cover GIMP like walkthrough video where like I illustrated a book cover kind of. And what else do I have? Yeah, those are like the main ones. I have like an ASMR typing video that I haven't uploaded yet. And then I have some more ideas like more tips for teen writers, which I thought you guys might want to see because I know a lot of people like that video. And then more of my favorite writing techniques has been asked for a lot, but I feel like I can't think of I'll have to like watch or read some of my favorite stuff again to see if I can find more techniques that I love. Um, but what's something that y'all want to like see a lot more on the channel? Because right now it has like a pretty defined I'm posting all of the book cover content right now kind of vibe. But is there anything else you want to see? I've been working on since last year a video where I compare tidbits of my writing like over because I've been writing for like 7 years. So every single project I compare like literally side by side every piece of writing. And so I've also been working on that, but I haven't finished it. Um, but I thought that might be interesting. So let me know. I feel like I have comments now that I should look at. Let's see. Um, Ava says, I want to make book covers, but Photoshop overwhelms me. I understand that. I've been using it for so long. I think the longer you use it, the better, like the easier it becomes, like in any like photo manipulation program, because you just learn more. So the best thing is like to kind of just like dive in. I think William wants more writing advice on the channel. Okay, well, about what? Let me know. Let's see if anybody wants writing advice. What do you want advice on? Um, Dallin loves the book cover videos. Well, I'm very happy to hear that because I have 2 more, I think. I'm just hoping I don't make any more. I have 3 more actually. Hmm. uh, you guys want the teen writers video? Okay, I'm trying to think because I'm not going to be a teenager soon, so I was trying to make one before I stop being a teenager in September. So, what is it? Since I might have some teen writers here, I'm seeing. What is it that you guys I think would like advice on the most? Let me know. As somebody who wrote through her whole teenhood, let me know, and I'd love to help keep your opinions and your questions in mind. So if you have questions, put them here and I'll put them in the video. I'll do this video then the comparison between the old and new writing. I've been doing it for so long, but then I actually started filming it too. I started it last July. Then I started filming it maybe in like August or something. Or maybe it was not even August. It was probably like October when I started filming it and I didn't like it. So um I will fix it. I have started to fix it actually. Hello, it's okay. We're just talking about kind of like the direction of like my channel and like kind of like the videos you guys might want to see. Um, Scree says, I really love your vlog slash write with me's. Yeah, those ones are really fun. I've been trying to play around with editing a little bit more. I've been watching a lot of Damon Dominique's videos on here because they're just so well edited. It feels like a TV show. And so I'm trying to get better at editing. Is this one of the questions for the teen writer video? Advice on finishing writing? I could definitely write that down. I will write that down. Write that down. What is that meme? I don't know anything about memes, but I know that one kind of. How to finish stuff. Is that something like teen writers would be like more interested, or even like younger or newer writers in general? How to finish stuff. Developing characters. Oh, that's interesting. I think, like, developing characters when I was a young teenager was hard because, like, I felt like I didn't even know myself either, so that might be interesting to look into, because, you really are developing a whole human being. How do you make time to write? That's a good one. I'll brainstorm answers for this. Um, would love to hear, on dedicated and trying to get over the fear of writing, so get over the fear of writing. Yeah, that's definitely I think especially if you're a teen writer who is like a part of the online community, I think is probably more prevalent with younger Gen Zs thing. I wonder if that's a more prevalent anxiety, like the fear of writing, because there is like the online writing community now. So I wonder what that is like. I mean, I was kind of online. I've had my blog since I started writing, but I really didn't interact with anybody for a very, very long time. And so I wonder what that experience is like. Um, August says tips on how to be less embarrassed by the things you wrote since you're developing so much during your teens and tend to go through phases of improvement very fast. I'm gonna write that down. Hold on. Um, that's a really good question, because even I feel that too, even though I'm like kind of an older teenager now, almost not a teenager. Being embarrassed um, is a huge thing. Improve so fast. That's a good question. Motivate. How do you motivate yourself to write? These are all really good. How did you juggle writing and school life going into fourth year age 15, 16? So that would be probably grade 11 for for Canada. And so that's interesting. How did I balance? How do you balance writing in school? That's actually a really good question. I was a bad student sometimes, and I would write, in class. I only did that in grade 9, really, so, which is the first year. Um, if you're bored with your work, is it because you already know what happens, or is it actually boring? Ooh, to be bored, is it because you know what happens, or that your work is boring? That's a good question. I mean, I don't want to spoil my answer, but I definitely don't think it's all necessarily because your work is boring. But I've never thought of boredom in writing. I definitely think that happened to me a lot, which is why sometimes in my later projects, I had a lot going on because I'd get bored very easily. So I just start adding in things, and then I couldn't keep up with everything. So I definitely think that that's a good thing to note. Um, how to start writing the first draft and get over the need for perfection. That's a very good question too. And get over perfection. I mean, I get some type of way when I call myself a perfectionist. I don't like to label myself a perfectionist, but I definitely have a huge fear of making things not perfect. So what does that say about me? I don't know. But I totally get that. And I think that was definitely a problem for me as I became like a a later teen, an older teenager, maybe starting 17 till now, maybe. But these are fantastic questions. Thank you so much for sending them in. I will consider that when I'm making the video because I wasn't sure, what you guys would have wanted to see if you are the younger viewers. Because some advice helps, some doesn't. I remember when I was a teen writer, some of the advice I was like, well, I don't know how to apply this, so I want to make sure that I'm making like a video that's accessible for you. August says, I think that's called being a perfectionist, Rachel. I hate to break it to you. Oh, I don't like it. You know why? Is because like I'm a generally like chaotic person. So I'm like, there's no way I could be a perfectionist. Maybe I am. We'll find out. I don't know. How to make your internal dialogue richer or more interesting. That's actually a really good I think that's something that I struggled with when I was younger, even now. Um, internal dialogue richer. Because I think sometimes in your head, the voice can be so vivid, but then like, how do you put that on the page? Sometimes that can be tricky. So that's a very good question. Um, these are fantastic. Thank you, everybody. Well, I hope that everybody had a great sprint. I I finished kind of nothing, a little bit. I got carried away with my specific details, um, but other than that, I think it went pretty well. Um, but I think I'm gonna probably sign off in a second. But before I do, what are your closing thoughts? I would love to share some of Seventh Virtue, like in an update, or maybe I'll like, if I like the first chapter enough, maybe I'll do a reading of it. Maybe not like an audiobook thing, but maybe I'll just sit down and read it if you would be interested in that. Um, because I'm having a lot of fun. It's a lot of pages, guys. Like, look, one thing that I don't miss about printing my work is that it's. How do I hold this to show you? Yeah, look, you can see it's so much, and I single spaced it because I didn't want to waste a whole bunch of paper. But it's actually I'm having a good time editing on paper. Usually I don't edit on paper, but Um, Amita says, cough, cough, the advice that tells you to only outline, cough, cough, useless, potentially harmful, cough, cough. I agree with this. I just posted an ask on my blog. And I said, I mean, I don't, I usually don't understand the advice of like, you should like have to outline your book. And I don't mind outlining. Like sometimes I outline things as I go. Depends on what I need for the process. I think that's also just really important to remember. Like it depends on what you need. But I definitely think like it depends on the kind of person that you are. If you're more like type A or organized, you might be more inclined to outline. But if you're more type B, you probably wouldn't outline as much. But I don't know. Maybe it depends on who you are as well. But that's the thing. I think there's like different people, so like not everybody is the same person, which is why um some people hyper outline, and I think that's okay too. I did that once, and I didn't end up writing the book, but I did that. And I've outlined in different capacities. I've not outlined at all, but yeah. Ava says, I got more writing done than I have in like a month. So thanks for this. Well, I'm so happy to hear that. I think I'd love to do more of these so that we can just kind of chat because it's really fun to talk to you guys. Dallin says, this was very fun as always. Also, much needed social interaction during these times. Yes, I should do more of these for that reason because we do need more social interaction. Numu says, I'd love more live streams from you at least once a month. I will make an attempt. I was honestly, oh, I totally forgot that this live stream was to celebrate 3,000 subscribers. So I, I'm now at like 3,400 subscribers, which is, wow, that's a lot. So it's been a while since I hit 3,000, but I was like really tired and I wasn't sure if I would like do like a good enough live stream. So I'm really happy that you guys like this one. So maybe I will do more because it is really fun, especially to talk with you. Um, Thank you, Ava. 3,000 subscribers. Well, thank you everybody who is here still, the 28 of you. I think I'm going to sign off, but it was wonderful talking with you and writing with you. And maybe next time we'll do more writing sprints. I can't make promises though, because I just love chatting. So it was nice to chat with you. Um, and thank you guys so much for all of the support. I I'm always amazed to like think back on it. It is a stunning experience and I couldn't be here without you. So I really appreciate it. You're allowing me to document the thing I most love, which is so nice. So I really appreciate um that you're here for the videos. And thank you for all of the ideas and the questions that everybody sent in. But I will talk to you soon. And goodbye also to the people watching the replay of this, if there are people watching this, which should be up whenever, probably sometime later today. Um, but bye bye. It was nice to talk to everybody. All right. Bye, August. Bye, Kim. Bye, Ava. Bye, Amita. Bye, William. All right. Bye, everybody. I'm going to sign off now. All right.